Today I'm talking about 3 animated Batman films, all based off of iconic storylines. And the names of those 3 movies are Batman the Killing Joke, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, and Batman Hush. First up is Batman the Killing Joke. This is a 2016 film. I remember when it came out, just like all of the controversy around it. So if you're unfamiliar, the movie is about the Joker pushes things really far and it's maybe pushing Batman to his brink. Now, I definitely remember people talking about the beginning of the movie a lot because the first 30 minutes isn't actually about that story. It's this other story about Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, and just her realizing that the superhero life that she's living isn't the exact superhero life that she would like to continue to live. Now, I definitely understand why people were complaining about the fact that it's in this movie, and I also understand why the filmmakers chose to put it in the movie, even though it is so disconnected. Like, as soon as this story ends, it fades to black and then comes back in, and it's like a completely different thing is happening. So like, I get the hate because it is just so disconnected. It's not based on The Killing Joke, which is the title of the movie, and you want this to be about Batman and Joker, and this is this whole other thing about Barbara. But it's clear the intention is to give more emotional depth to some really traumatic things that happen in The Killing Joke. There's some bad stuff that happens to Barbara, and by spending half an hour getting to know her more, seeing her in action, seeing her hopes and dreams and struggles and all that stuff, then when bad stuff happens to her, we'll care more about it than if it was just like, oh, here's this character that's barely in this story, oh, watch this bad thing happen to them. Like, there's not a lot there. So like, it definitely makes sense to give her more to do within the overall story. But I do think they messed up in that they should have more loosely adapted these 2 stories and intermixed them. Have it so that the Joker doesn't necessarily have to show up in the beginning of the movie, but have Batman investigating Joker things, having there clearly being signs of Joker stuff going on. That may be part of the reason why Batman isn't really investigating the thing that Barbara's investigating, is because he's distracted by Joker shenanigans. Something like that. Because honestly, I had a lot of fun with Barbara in the beginning. I liked Barbara as a character. I think the story there was interesting and kind of more even. I did like the beginning of when The Killing Joke started happening. Like, it got very dark and very intense, and I enjoyed that. But I didn't enjoy all of the Joker story. Like, I kind of got bored with some of the carnival stuff that was happening with Jim Gordon, and the end didn't really hit me. To be fair to the movie though, I knew what was gonna happen. I've heard people talk about this comic at great length, so I more or less knew what was gonna go down. I did really enjoy the Joker flashback stuff. It's like a potential origin story for the Joker. So another thing they could have done was, in the first act of the movie, while it's dealing with all the Barbara stuff, then just periodically cut back to Joker origin story, because then he is definitively in the story in the beginning, but then you can also let the Barbara stuff just kind of play out as is pretty naturally. So yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fine. It didn't blow me away by any means, but I definitely don't think it's a bad movie. Would I recommend it? Yeah. Don't go into it with the highest expectations, but it's an alright little thing. Next up is Batman Gotham by Gaslight. This is a 2018 movie based on a comic of the same name, which is just a retelling of the Jack the Ripper story. And it was fine. I definitely like the aesthetic a lot. It was fun seeing Batman-y things in this time, and it was fun to see when iconic Batman characters would just pop up and stuff. Like, the movie opens with Poison Ivy doing a sexy dance thing, and I really like the design for it. Even though she was literally doing a sexy dance, it didn't feel like they were like super overly sexualizing her. Like, it wasn't like ridiculous boobs or anything like that. The movie just had a really solid vibe, and the characters, I think, fit well into this universe. Bit bored by the story, just because it's been done countless times, and I don't know if they really added a lot to it, but it definitely wasn't a bad experience by any means. I think if you are a big fan of the classic Jack the Ripper story, it's definitely worth a watch. If you're unfamiliar with the Jack the Ripper story, 100% give it a watch. This is a fun interpretation of it, and it's got that classic kind of like steampunky stuff to it occasionally. So if you're a fan of that, then it would for sure also be worth a watch. But if you're more of just like a general Batman fan, I don't know if this is one you really need to go out of your way for. If you're like really itching for something, sure, go for it, but it's not the worst if you don't watch this one. It's a what if story, so like, it's not the most consequential. So yeah, no, it's a decent little movie that I would sort of recommend. And lastly is Batman Hush. This is a 2019 film. How do I describe the premise of this movie? There are so many iconic Batman characters in this, and they kind of each have their own like 10-minute segment, and I don't really feel like a lot of them really like mixed together, flowed together. Basically, Batman's investigating a thing, and it keeps like jumping from villain to villain to villain because there's this other overarching villain who's actually doing all the stuff. I did like that Selena Kyle is basically the co-lead of the movie. I thought she was interesting. I didn't really like the voice actor performance. It's an actor I like, Jennifer Morrison, but she really wasn't doing it for me here. I did get a little bored with it, but I do think it came back together in the end, that the end more or less worked, but I did find myself kind of struggling a bit with it. I still liked it. I still put it in the liked category, so it's a middle of the road film, but it's definitely a forgettable one. So would I recommend it? If you really need some more Batman goodness, yeah, you're not gonna have a bad time with it, but I don't think it's gonna change your life by any means. So yeah, no, it's an okay little movie that I guess I would recommend. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got Batman the Killing Joke sitting at number 106 in the like section. And then after that, not too terribly far behind, is Batman Gotham by Gaslight sitting at number 109, again in the like section. And then bringing up the rear is Batman Hush sitting at number 114 in the like section as well. And this is out of a total of 153 old movies so far this year.